Please enter your participant or moderator code followed by the pound key. Please say your name followed by the pound key.
Supervisors.
You still have quite a few people
Morning.
This county here, we have a full board.
We got to
Just a
finish up our,
second, we got a couple more things we gotta read about coming out of closed session.
Okay,
Let the minutes reflect that we are now back in open session. The closed session has been concluded by agreement of the parties. No matters were discussed other than the issue for which the closed session was taken. No votes were taken or any other action. There being no further discussion, is there a motion to end the closed session?
Make that a motion.
second.
A motion from Stenzer and a second from Derby to end the closed session. You want a roll call?
Derby.
Aye.
Stenzer.
Aye.
Jensvold.
Aye.
Her name's Christine.
Christine Stone.
I move that the county attorney be authorized to move forward with the procedure discussed during the closed session. That was my motion. Anybody want a second?
Oh, second.
Should it indicate what we're doing?
Yeah, so this is actually the one from the last closed session. That's why it doesn't have specific language. So yeah, you can.
To, make
To
contact.
engage with
Hire
Christine Stone.
Hire Christine Stone to look into the matter further.
Second.
Motion General, second from Stenzer. As stated, all in favor, roll call again.
Just vote.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, now we're ready for you.
Better announce it.
Yeah, and that would be 9:30 a.m. set final hearing date for DD 21, DD 68 136, and DD 68 136 Lat 2.
He would like, Chris and Rick would like it set for 6/23/20 at 9:30 a.m.
Make that a motion.
I'll second it.
A motion from Stenzer and a second from Derby to set the final hearing date for DD 21, DD 68 136, and DD 68 136 Lat 2 for 6/23/20. All in favor, say aye.
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 What was the time on that?
9:30.
Oh, 9:30. Oh, yeah, I missed that.
Now is that the one they were voting on too?
Is it, yeah?
Yeah, were they?
Kasuth, did you vote on that?
no, being this is a joint hearing, did we select a recording secretary and a chairman?
Well, we would have done that way back, so it would have been, probably Terry would have been the chairman and I would have been the secretary.
Oh, was it after the first of the year? I bet Bill was the chair. I can't remember.
This has been a long time ago that we started this.
Yeah, this would have been
Okay.
last fall, I think, so.
So, how do you want to handle it?
It's up to you.
What's that?
I know, usually we just we have a motion to organize.
I think they did it last fall.
They did it last fall? Okay. So, you just need us to vote on the, completion hearing for Drain 21 joint, for 6/23/20 at what time?
9:30.
All in Kasuth County in favor of the K 68-136 open ditch, ladder 2 repair, for 6/20. All eyes here.
All eyes there?
Yes.
Same here. Okay. And then, we wanna do number 10 while we got them on the line here. Consider for approval pay estimate number 2 to Larson Contracting for DD 21, DD 68-136, and DD 68-136 Lat 2 for $5,235.75.
On our agenda. That's not on our agenda.
That one's not on there?
This is Chris. The reason that's not on their agenda is because we have been paying the whole bill because we're reclassifying the district. I didn't know for sure what the percentage would be. So I've been paying the bills and then we'll send them a bill, now that we are getting that classified.
Our drainage clerk, Marge Mergen, is shaking her head.
Which way? If you guys vote on it, we don't have to, because you're control.
That's correct.
And, she's shaking her head up and down or side to side?
It was up and down.
Okay.
Bobble head, up and down, yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
we just do that.
Then we'll just do that one then, so.
So should we ask them if they have any opinions on it?
You guys okay with what we just discussed?
It
sounds good in paper.
Yeah.
Would it matter if we didn't agree with you?
We value your opinions.
That would be
And
the first.
Actually, now that I've gotten a classification, a pre-classification from Rick, our percentages went way up, so Winnebago County will pay a bigger portion than they have in the past. So that'll make Sue happy.
Yes, our clerk just said thank you.
You know, we do take tips.
Don't eat yellow snow, that's it.
Yeah, but it can't be over $3 though, isn't it, or something?
Well, Terry's already stamped it approved, so we better approve it.
All right, well, you guys go ahead, we'll listen in while you approve it.
All right.
It's your district.
I'll make a motion to approve the pay estimate number 2 for Larson Contracting for DD 21, DD 68-136, and DD 68-136 Lab 2 for $5,235.75. All in favor, say aye.
You want a second on that?
Oh, there, yeah. I make a motion. Stemford seconds it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, that should be it.
All right, well, you guys have a good day. Stay safe.
Yeah, you do.
Thanks for your input.
All right. Bye.
Julie is available until 10, she said. She's going to the conference call.
All right, now we wanna go to, that one would be discussion with possible action regarding COVID-19 policies.
I didn't really have anything until I got, stuff from Andy this morning and stuff from, I sent you the email from Story County yesterday, the way they were proceeding to open with actual, some benchmarks in place. And,
We took care of that last week, though.
yeah, I know, but I just thought it was interesting, the benchmarks that they were actually using versus just a random date, maybe? I don't know.
Well, we have a benchmark, it's gotta be appointment.
Yeah,
What else, what did they have that we don't have? I didn't see that.
did you see the ones from Andy too?
Yeah, they.
I might have missed that one.
Let me see if I can figure out how to make a,
Be so low and.
Oh, we don't meet the first one, we're on an uptick on the trajectory, correct? It wasn't there two more?
Yeah, 2 more.
Yep. I still think we should keep it where it's at.
and that's fine,
Yeah.
I'm just bringing
Right.
to your attention.
So I think currently it's essentially by appointment only, even starting through May 18th. You guys have threw them that date out last week, I think.
Yeah.
So until you say otherwise, it's essentially by appointment only.
Yeah.
Story County's just made their benchmarks of here's when we'll consider opening, is when these 3 things are, or however many things were on there.
Full opening then.
That's my understanding, the way I read it, I guess.
It went that way.
And then Hancock County's is more, here's what, because they opened today
Mhm.
to the public. So it's kind of what they're putting in place or what they expect to be followed to have that opening be safe. I think they're still gonna utilize like drop boxes and stuff, even though they're open, that way people don't have to come in if they don't want to.
Well, we're going to have to eventually, and I can't remember where I heard this yesterday, it was not very with me. We wake up every day, and the first thing we probably do is manage our risk, you know, with every decision we make, we manage our risk, so, that's the difference between, kids and adults supposedly, and so, we've gotta get on with life.
Well, the goal of this was never to stop it.
Right.
The goal was to slow it, to minimize the impact on
Hospitals.
the hospitals and stuff, because you can't just, the virus is gonna exist, it's out there now, so.
Well, the thing that disappoints me so much is that the professionals don't agree. So,
And they never will.
and, so,
Well, frankly, that's what makes it hard for you guys to make a decision
Right.
on what to do, because
Yeah.
you don't have clear guidance. I do think it's a good thing to keep on the agenda just every week, just in case there is something you want to discuss or something you want to change. It doesn't hurt to have it on there, with the way things change every single day,
and
so,
probably decisions,
What's that?
put that in there too.
with possible action.
With possible
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says that.
Yeah,
And I think working towards benchmarks would probably be good for a full opening.
Yeah, which our benchmarks here are pretty low compared to other counties as far as, you know, we've already achieved Story County's benchmarks possibly.
We did, and then now
now we're back, yeah.
Well, there again, we'll just have to do it week by week, I think, because if we set our benchmarks in stone, we could not be open for another year or 2 years.
depends on what the benchmarks are.
Right.
Yeah, as long as you guys are discussing it and kind of know what you're
Yeah.
wanting to do.
And I would surely hope that the medical world and the emergency response system of the United States has now got enough stuff in place to be able to handle. I mean, they were talking about a shortage of ventilators and all that, and all of a sudden we've got ventilators all over the place and they're not even being used. So we should be prepared more for an uptick, which
We
can go- It's open.
We've got too many people in here anyway.
But can we open the door?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, let's keep like the hallways, we had to shut.
Yeah, we'll quick gap.
Call Eric and tell him.
all right,
So no action today,
no,
other than maybe we should start looking to the future for any benchmarks we want to, for a full opening.
yeah.
Yeah, and like with Hancock County, they specifically put measures in place, you know, to like mark the floors and like I
You know
said,
who
keep
they
the drop
trusted
boxes.
for their guidance?
Say that again.
Do you know who they trusted? Was it their public health director that they used for?
I think they've been working a lot with Andy, is my understanding, as far as setting up some of those safety procedures. With respect to just opening, I think, I don't wanna put words in anybody's mouth, I guess, so I don't wanna say.
Andy, are you on the line?
He said he couldn't be on today.
Okay,
He had another
all right.
meeting.
Some of this is, your pretty straightforward stuff that has been coming down from,
That a lot of places have been doing,
Yeah.
like the stores, you see the X's on the floors, things like that.
Yeah.
I did like that they were keeping, you know, boxes outside the doors or whatever open, that way if people didn't wanna go all the way in, they didn't have to, but.
if they don't need to, why?
Right, right.
You saw a travel ban in Minnesota?
No, you lifted that last
We
week.
did it last week.
Good, because I had to go to Overly to get my mother out of the toilet on Mother's Day. And I didn't break it.
You're just too good, Bill. Conservation Board's gonna open up the campground on Friday using the self-contained restroom policy only. Our facilities are all closed, everything we close, the shelter, the playground equipment,
Yeah.
the pit toilets.
Is Friday the first day you can open? Or
Last
can-
Friday was.
Last Friday was, okay.
But we hadn't even turned the water on yet.
Yeah,
And the cabin will stay closed. Our trap range is closed, our target range is open, as long as they follow social distancing. Parks, everything are open to use.
Just for curiosity, why the difference between the trap and the target?
Trap requires more people, I suppose.
Yeah, the trap would require one of our employees to supervise the shoot.
Oh, okay, all right.
And if the trap range tends to get less use, I mean, the target range is getting used every single day, and a lot more since this all started. We're getting people from everywhere, from Minneapolis to Des Moines, to Sioux City, to Waterloo, come.
It's like Home Depot and Menards and these places it's been better than Black Friday because everybody's home doing home projects.
Probably get triple, quadruple amount of use that we normally get. We normally get quite a bit, it keeps busy, but it's now that people are waiting to shoot during the week even.
Well, even some of the local businesses in the county are doing better too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't wanna go to those places.
Okay, anything more on the,
Which then begs the question, why can't everybody be open?
Yeah, what's an essential business anymore? They should all be
You know,
essential.
Walmart and then Pack,
I think they're all essential to our economy.
Yes.
And
I feel sorry for restaurant owners.
there's some of them that are gonna open again.
Well, that's one thing, some states, like California, is leaving it to the counties. Some counties are not making the same decisions as others.
Yeah.
well, most things are allowed to be open now, right, just with certain restrictions?
Yeah, distances,
Yeah,
limits to tables.
yeah, the 50%
Okay.
capacity and things like that.
The couple owners of restaurants came on last night on TV, said that if we don't have 70% occupancy or better, we lose the money. You know, so-
Sure.
I'm done talking.
Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. All right, anything else regarding COVID-19 policies? We'll move on to Scott Miners, engineer, will discuss secondary road matters.
Good morning.
Good
I'll
morning.
give you this permit, that's the next thing.
I'm sorry. That was,
What do I say? We got an updated schedule from our paving contractor. Things are looking more like August, so we're kind of taking a breath on that. We did hear from DOT, and they're going to be closing a couple of their bridge near Fertile, so that's our path to the quarry, but that'll be detoured into our county and over to kind of Joyce and then back on our 74 starting middle of next week. So that's something that'll impact us a little bit. Other than that, we do have construction starting just real soon here, but keep you up to date on schedules. That's about all I got, I guess.
Once again, I have nothing.
any changes in staff at all?
We had, yeah, we had a resignation from Mark Krull here,
Really?
effective a week from Friday, so sorry to see him leave, and that come as, you know, he's been with the county for 33 years.
Does that screw up your construction?
It will put a lot more pressure on the others for sure, and we'll be working through the process to try to get that position filled, but you know, he's a very experienced operator, so
Yes.
it puts a lot of pressure on, you know, Mark to be here for the construction projects, and a little more pressure on the other guys to step up and you know, cover for some of the expertise that he provided. So it screws it up is one way to put it. We, you know, likely won't get as much done this year as if we had him construction-wise. But
What do you anticipate replacing him with? Somebody you want to train or somebody that's got more experience.
It's up in the air at this point. We'll be, you know, whenever we have a resignation, we allow the guys to shuffle a little bit in order to, you know, find good fits or, you know, have them report to a shop that's closer to home or whatever. So we'll be giving the guys a chance to move around a little bit, and kind of whatever position remains open, we'll fill it with, you know, somebody that fits that spot.
Should you look at maybe combining that position with the other person that's probably gonna be leaving here next year? To maybe entice it and qualify for a good paying job?
We haven't finalized anything about how we're gonna approach it, but I think that, you know, we'll be giving somebody that's a current employee an opportunity to
Yeah.
step into a,
Yeah.
you know, a temporary quasi-leadership role, and then,
Do you have an eye on somebody already?
can't really say. We'll be gauging interest here shortly. We haven't officially released this to the employees yet because it just came through on Friday.
Okay.
So they'll be getting something shortly from us with more clear direction. And then we'll, you know, look at those two positions kind of together, I guess, when that when the maintenance
Right, yeah.
superintendent position turns over. Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
It will be interesting.
So I
There's a lot of experience to go in just a short period of time. But, as far as what we discussed yesterday, it sounds like that the repair of the tile will take care of the whole problem, and there is no need to install a pipe.
Okay. Did Terry have any idea of schedule or anything? I suppose if the water's already down, that it's kind of at least.
Yeah, he's just waiting on them evidently they're gonna clear the trees. And once the trees are gone, then he's gonna go in there and fix it. He figured it would be sometime in June.
Do you know which trees? Just the ones along the road there?
But it's,
Is that the driveway issue?
yeah. Trees along, I would assume the east side of the acreage there. And there must be some,
There's some kind of along the road ditch there, and there's some little bit back up into the property. They got quite a.
back up into the property a little bit. It seems like there was some, like, I'm not even sure what kind of trees they were. I wanted to say there was some kind of willow, but,
Yeah.
which is the worst.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I know they had a couple that looked like they died of overhydration, you know, so.
And the water's gone down, and it's because it's limited. It's still moving water through it, but because of the roots, it's limited. So it did go down, so the tile must be drained. So anyway, we'll wait until see what their solution there. If that takes care of the problem, which there has been a problem there in the past. So the issue is, so
Yeah. All right.
he where the map shows that tile ending, he says that they wouldn't put an 8-inch there without going to where the real problem is, so he's pretty confident that it goes all the way up to the problems.
Okay. If you hear of them getting started on that or anything like that, maybe let me know, and just be curious to see if they
Yeah.
get it flowing good.
Yeah, I would also be curious, so. Okay, then, we'll move on to number 7. Consider for approval utility permit for Heartland Power to install overhead electric in Newton Township, section 28.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second?
A motion from Derby and a second from Stenserud to approve a utility permit for Heartland Power to install overhead electric in Newton Township, section 28. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay,
If I could get your signature and Carlos, get that off your desk. These actually got poles in the ground already, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is the one from last week, right?
Yep, and I did get another permit from Heartland that I'll be reviewing, but hopefully it can get on the agenda for next week. So I'll send that out as soon as we get a look at it.
Okay,
Thank you.
consider for approval NIRHA pilot waiver.
Anything changed? I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second it.
The motion is Stenger and a second from Derby to approve the NIRHA pilot waiver. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
The guy from Niagara is gonna call in at 10, just so you know. I'll be right back.
So hopefully at 10 o'clock we can take care of number 15.
What district is Ross Coppin working? What district is Ross Coppin working? Where he works out of?
Ross Copeland,
Coppin?
K-O-P-P-E-N.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they say it over by Buffalo.
Is he in Buffalo or does he have
Judge,
towers?
Guess doesn't matter.
It seems like he's over there.
There been so many changes, it's hard to keep
Yeah,
track.
oh, yeah.
And they move around.
Yeah, yeah, but it does seem like he's over there.
I don't know where the rest of them are. That was the only payroll we had.
Well, do you suppose I'm the printed name and title of authorized representative, or am I the signature? Oh, it's the printed name and title. That's the
Yeah,
signature.
you're both.
All right, I'm both, yeah, there we go.
On the Shane Rockout.
At least 2-3 years, or 2
Yeah.
years anyway.
I would say, yeah, it's relatively
I'm
young.
trying to remember who he replaced. Was he Daddy Tweeten? Was that a year ago?
I might have been tweeting.
Yeah. So he might be out of Fort City. Manage the court system.
Say that again.
They've been able to manage the court system.
Yeah, everything's telephonic now.
Really?
So, but I think as of right now, June 1st, we start back up with in-person hearings. They haven't extended that out yet.
Is that a common name over there?
Yeah, so
It's been interesting, but
and then there's something about my rate, originally.
Do we want to go to number 11 now and see if Kevin's on?
Number what?
Or no, not 11,
Number 12?
12. 15.
Oh, 15. Oh, yeah, okay, discussion regarding Region 2 rural transportation.
Kevin, are you on? Kevin Kramer?
Kevin Kramer, you on the line? Evidently not.
Unless he muted himself.
Yeah.
We can put it back and check every once in a while.
All right.
What's number 12?
12, consider for approval signing CAT grant for conservation.
The CAT grant application's ready to be turned in. They got a couple of things they're finalizing. I'm referring to NICOG, who's helping us with it. And, we have-
Okay, I'm here.
All right, we'll be with you in a little bit, Kevin.
Okay.
County has to sign as a co-applicant certified, or Okay, the signature of co-applicant, certifying officer, individual, and they said Bill would be the signature on this. My board approved it yesterday at their meeting.
And we're the fiscal agent, basically.
Want to look at the application, it's right here, I got 80 pages.
Make a motion to approve that.
I'll second it.
A motion from Center and a second from Derby to approve signing the CAT grant for conservation. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I need a blue pen signature.
This is
The blue, okay.
Is it the 12th? I wanted to say that. Usually I'm a date.
12.
Usually I'm a date.
I hope so, because that's what I've been stamping everything.
Hey, do you know if the Buffalo Center City Council met? Do they meet on Monday nights or by
I
chance? Or?
think it's Wednesday nights.
Oh, Wednesday.
Yeah.
They were supposed to get me a resolution too, but, okay.
All right, thank you. How you doing?
Okay, then we'll go back to discussion regarding Regional 2 rural transportation.
Kevin, you wanna, give us an update, what you know?
What I know, here last month, Mosaic of North Iowa, who's been our contract provider for both the City of Forest City Transit and the Winnebago County Transit, they notified us that they weren't going to renew our contract after the end of this fiscal year, which is June 30th. So we went first to City of Forest City, gave them a pitch to take on maybe both those services. Barb took it to a council workshop session, and then last week it was an agenda item, and the council went ahead with just doing the City of Forest City service and not the county service. So now we're putting some feelers out, looking for a provider for the county service, which is probably more of a concern to you than the Forest City service.
What does that all entail?
Roughly they do about 400 or 500 trips a month, 7,200 miles. Most days they run 3 buses daily, but always at least 2 buses.
So that would be in charge of, we would be in charge of that? Well, I mean, what's the responsibility for us?
Well, I'm not asking you, we're looking, actually, I've made the pitch to One Vision for sure, and then, because they're already doing Hancock County, plus doing the City of Clear Lake service, so it'd kind of be a good fit, because One Vision does have a presence in Winnebago County, plus a lot of the well, I shouldn't say a lot, but on one particular route during normal times pre-COVID, there were 7 to 10 people every day that we were picking up from various locations in Winnebago County, taking to One Vision in Clear Lake. So we're looking or talking with them right now to see if they can make that fit. But like I said, there's 3 buses some days, 2 always. They're picking up on a daily basis folks to come to Mason to go to Nivik, Salvation Army, various medical appointments in Mason City, and then the 7 to 10 people that go to One Vision. Those are daily transportation. They also do a lot of cardiac rehab to Britt, dentistry to Garner, do some dialysis, a lot of trips on a monthly basis, bringing people to Prairie Ridge for their mental health appointments now, and they're doing a lot in the rural communities, especially Rake, Thompson. There's a senior housing in Lake Mills. I don't know the name of it. It's on.
I know what we provide, or what you provide, but I guess, can you tell me why are you coming to us? I guess. I don't know how to ask the question.
Mike, I put it on the agenda because I was getting concerned citizens contacting me that it's being discontinued, or it was up in the air, we didn't know what was going on. I talked to Kevin after I put it on the agenda yesterday, and he informed me about One Vision possibility. Since then, I've heard a comment from somebody in the public that they don't think One Vision was doing as good a job as Mosaic was, down in Hancock County. So,
And what do they do? What did Mosaic do?
well, you have to be the employer of these bus drivers, and
Okay.
somebody has to be in charge of them, I suppose.
Yes.
And it's a pass-through funding, right, Kevin?
Correct. Well, we do, and it's different for every county, because we do 8 counties. In some of our counties, Nyakog is the actual employer, like in Cassuth or Cerro Gordo or Mitchell County. Those drivers in those counties are Nyakog employees. In the other counties, it's usually a local organization, and in Worth County, the public health does it there. But, yeah, One Vision is doing the city of Clear Lake. They are doing Hancock County. And so with what the ridership is, that seemed like a good fit since they're already established and have a dispatch center in place, have drivers, that'd be a good fit. If that don't work, then we'll kind of move on to the next one, and if we don't find a willing participant by July 1, then the last resort is that Nyakog be the provider. And that could be for a temporary basis too, which has been done before. We've run into these situations. Nyakog personnel would take care of that service until we can get something in place. But at any rate, there's not going to be any gap in service. Come July 1, somebody's going to be doing it.
Do you coordinate all with NICAO?
Say that again?
Do you coordinate at all with North Iowa Community Action Organization?
No, they don't do any transportation of their own anymore.
What was, it would be, if you're already in the business for the city of Forest City, what was the city of Forest City's reasoning for not wanting to do the whole county?
I didn't get a reason from them, and they didn't specify. And it was an agenda item on their council meeting last week. So if there was a discussion, I didn't know what it was. All they did, they put a motion on there, looked at a budget item, passed it to do the city of Forest City service. That's all I really know about that. But
So just so I can wrap my mind around, you're asking us to provide a coordinator?
No, they're
No,
gonna do it.
I'm not asking you for anything right now. I'm just providing you with an update on where we are with this at this point in time.
Well, you said by June, whatever it was,
July 1.
July 1, someone's gonna do it, so.
Well, he said the NICOG
Correct.
run it themselves until they find someone.
Right.
Yeah.
So who is that someone and what do they do?
Well, right now,
It can
we
be you.
put it to consideration to One Vision, but I haven't got a definitive yes or no from them yet.
So basically, he's just telling us where he's working on it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
And it is kind of a public reassertion that the service isn't gonna disappear.
Right, and I want to make
Correct.
sure it's a good service that
Yeah.
isn't lost in the system.
Right, and of our various county services, it's one of the more heavier used ones,
It's my understanding,
especially with the mental health and the Medicaid population you have there. They are pretty heavy users of it.
so it's my understanding currently one of the drivers is the dispatch. Do you know that?
Yeah, she does, she's the way they have it structured there, she's the transportation supervisor. She also does all the scheduling and does some of the driving.
So to me, that's kind of an efficient way of doing it when you're hands-on and you can do it.
Well, it is, but it isn't, because if you're out driving, you're not there answering the phones, and that's been an issue over the years, but that's the way Mosaic chose to do it. And they did it the same way with the city service. The driver did their own scheduling and dispatching. there's pros and cons to that both ways.
I think in Lake Mills, it's that way.
Yeah.
Lake Mills, actually, the phone calls go into City Hall, but their
Not always.
ridership is a third of what it is in Forest City. Northwood does it the same way, though. The calls go directly to the driver.
Right there.
Every community is a little different. Clear Lake does this, One Vision does it there. Calls all go into dispatch, and then they get radioed out to drivers. Same way in Charles City.
I would assume it'd be easy to track like One Vision. Do you track like the rural? Is this picking up rural people that call in?
Yes.
So do you
Yes.
track who uses that? Is it,
Not by name, but by numbers and miles and costs and who, if it's a contractual thing. Because we have contracts with Salvation Army for medical ride tickets. We have contracts with both of the MCOs for Medicaid patients. We have a contract with County Social Services for their people to go to mental health appointments. There's a whole lot of different ones that, so we have to track all those different things just for billing purposes, let alone I have to report all our statistics, ridership for each county that we do service in and each city we do service in. I have to do that quarterly to Iowa DOT.
last
So there's
question,
a lot of different tracking.
yeah, last question. Can this service be used just to go to like Walmart?
Yes. It's general public service, so anybody can use it. There's no restriction on purpose.
Do you think it gets abused at all? Just, I feel like going to Mason City today, I'll call up.
If we're available to do it, we'll do it. But what it is, it's shared ride. So like with that first bus that comes to Mason City in the morning, there's 17 to 20 people on it. Pre-COVID, I should say. Now it's, our ridership's down 80% of what it was before COVID. But
Oh, so
hopefully that'll be
a bus
fine.
from Winnebago County wouldn't come to Mason with just one person?
No, they try to schedule them. It's because what all our services are called demand response, and it's shared ride. So you try and get as many people worked into the schedule and do as few a trip as possible.
Okay.
So, yeah, like that first bus, they already have standing appointments, like the people that come to Nivik or Salvation Army, dialysis, those are all standing appointments at the same time every day.
That's
So
what
those are already on the schedule, and then if somebody else wants to go to Walmart, here's what time we're going, be ready to go at this time, we'll pick you up and take you there.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Well,
Any other questions?
no, just keep us updated and
Yep. I'll check in with you again when I know more. I'm hoping to get a response from One Vision, and if not that, we're gonna try a couple other places, but I'll let you know where we're at.
all right. Thank you, Kevin.
You bet. Bye.
Okay. Consider for approval personnel contract with Northwest Iowa Care Connection.
Kelsey said, let's not do that till we do the 28E, and I didn't see the thing with the 28E, so it's not on the agenda, so we're gonna wait to do all
Table
that.
this one.
Yep.
You wanna go back? Do we have any, drainage?
Oh, yeah, we got that back. Auditor's office will discuss drainage matters.
I don't think she had anything.
Do we have anything?
I don't, my district's been quiet for a while.
Well, I've got some things going on, but it's,
I had people from your district asking me about this reclass and how it affects them, and I said, well, from what I remember of the map, it should benefit them because they added, 60 acres in the north part, that'll lower their burden.
not a lot, but at least it lowers them.
But it kind of scares them when they see a letter that says if you don't comment on it at the meeting, you lose your voice. I mean, basically, that was your chance.
Okay, well then, we'll move on to number 14. Consider for approval use of courthouse grounds.
We have a lady who wants to use the courthouse grounds for an Iowa Bible reading marathon on June 24th to 27th from 5 to 8 p.m.
Now, do we have to put in place anything for COVID restrictions, or like social distancing requirements?
I suppose that would be up to you.
I think you would certainly at least want to refer to if the governor still has those restrictions in place, they'd have to abide by any of them.
What was the date again, Joe?
24th to
June
27th.
24th to 27th.
So we
That's
got over a
changed
month.
by then, I guess.
Right.
But I'm guessing
they
social
do-
distancing is still gonna be in place then?
If they do it, the way they have in the past, there'll be either one or two people from the organization, and they ask a whole bunch of people to take an hour out of the day to come and do it, so. there'll
They
be
said that
three
they would-
people.
They would have approximately 25 people each night.
Which
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but,
have
but
the room.
spaced out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep, we have the space to let them do that, I think. But I think we should recommend to them to abide by the social distancing.
That's fine with me.
I guess I'll make a motion to approve the use of the courthouse grounds with, as long as they can, abide by the social distancing and other
COVID-19 rules that were still in place at that
Right.
time.
Second.
Motion from Derby, second from Stelter, to approve the use of the courthouse grounds as stated. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, open forum.
Did you do 13?
No.
What, did I miss it?
No, we.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had, because we don't have to,
That's exactly what I was going to say. I've looked at them both, but once you get the 2080 agreement on the agenda.
Are you okay with them then?
Well, I would say certainly don't sign the personnel contract until you have the 2080 agreement.
But I mean, as far as the 2080 agreement goes,
Probably shouldn't discuss it since it's not on the agenda. But I have talked to Cassuth County about it as well, so I do have some thoughts on it. So whenever it's on the agenda, I'll make sure I can call in or be here or whatever
all right.
to talk about it. Are you putting it on for next week, or what's the plan?
Do you want it on next
Should,
week?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
we gotta keep moving with it.
Alrighty, good to see you guys.
Yeah, have a good day. Okay, was there anything for open forum?
Stuff.
Okay. Consider for approval, auditors transfers.
We'll make that a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion Stelter, second from Derby, to approve the auditors transfers. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I think we made that motion last week with a yawn at the end.
I think so. Then it made me yawn.
Because I remember replicating that. Do we have more payroll?
Well, let's
All I
see.
had was secondary workers.
Coming to get it. Darn it, Mike. You started something.
Bob's got two.
That's what.
No, you missed both of them though. You're, oh, no, excuse me. No, I just,
Oh, there it is. Sorry about that.
I know, I've tried to handle that responsibility myself before and I couldn't handle it either.
I don't think we've ever had a perfect stamping day.
Well, that just proves that at least one of us is paying attention.
I've missed it so many times myself in the past, I don't learn to look for it. But if I had the stamper, I'd miss
I
it.
guess I didn't look for it, so. But you got science.
Another short one.
Normally, you don't have that short one in the middle.
No, yeah, that was a surprise attack there. You're excused on that.
What department is that one? Doesn't have any department.
It's conservation, isn't it?
Is it?
Ricky Miller is,
Yeah, Rob, looks like Robert there, signature,
Okay.
Robert. There's very few people that, write their name out loud enough, can understand.
yeah. Especially if you're trying to do it fast. And I start thinking these things are fairly logical by the time I get to the end of them.
It'll be interesting to see how this next round of funding goes. Some of these states that are asking for a lot of money to backfill some of their existing problems.
Oh, yeah.
But they're gonna make it look like they're putting it in the right place instead of backfilling their other.
And in the states that are looking to do that, what do you think they're looking to do? All the broken states in the United States. It should be Bahamas.
A lot of them have broken pension plans.
And this whole thing, when they start throwing trillions of dollars around, the whole thing makes me nervous.
Makes them feel good. They're damning the country, but, or I should say our children and grandchildren,
You know? I'm sure China will step up and pay for everything.
I was looking for a webcam for my dad's computer. They are non-existent almost completely.
doesn't have one on.
2 months ago, I bought a webcam for my wife's, and I paid $65 for it. You can buy one now on Amazon, you can get it in a week. Same one is now $100 higher.
Because of the demand.
Now, I see these ads that price gouging is not allowed, so I'm trying to figure out, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you justify, paying 65 2 months ago and in the store at Staples, and then now you have to go online and pay.
How do they justify a 50, 60 cent a gallon jump in just a matter of a couple of days in the gasoline prices when we haven't opened up that far yet, and the price per barrel?
They say it's probably gonna go back down again. It's not done.
Why did it go up?
because of market.
Is that universal, countrywide?
It went up everywhere around here.
I've heard that the Chinese are buying up the oil companies in Texas.
Well, I heard that they announced legislation to stop Chinese from taking advantage of this, coming and buying our companies.
I'll make a
It
motion to
has.
approve the payroll.
Second. On the motion, Derby, and second, Senator, to approve the payroll, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.